How about now? There it is. Hi guys, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show. Today is God damn it. Today is Find the Right Motors Friday. This is the Oh, why? Why did OBS do that? Why, like, why? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Why? Why is that, why does that happen? Why, like, I click stop stream and the computer just goes off, off, fuck it up, like, is that what's happening? Is that, like, as soon as I click stop stream, the computer just starts partying and just flipping switches, changing ones to zeros? Is that the deal? Jesus. I mean, that must be the deal. It's the only possible explanation. Oh! On Wednesday, Flytrap Magazine's in the house. What's up, fellas? Thanks for coming. Sorry, I don't know how to live stream. I swear I've done this before. Flytrap, I'm gonna make you a moderator. You don't have to moderate though. I just want your name to show up in blue. On Whoop Wednesday, we moved this Freestyle 65mm Walksnail build over into the Meteor 65 Pro frame that takes 35mm propellers instead of 31. Since the Walksnail video system adds 6 extra grams, it stands to reason that we might want to go with a slightly bigger propeller to get a little bit more power and efficiency. One of the problems, the much smaller problem here with this build is that Gemfan does not make a 35mm biblade. So by going with a tri-blade, we are sacrificing a little bit of efficiency. Not that much efficiency though. This thing. So when we go to these bigger propellers, we're gonna have to have a bigger motor to compensate, and the bigger motor is gonna be heavier. And what became very clear to me on Wednesday is that we can't have that. We can't have the extra weight. The main limitation that's killing us on a 65mm Freestyle Walksnail build, and this would also apply to an HD0 build. It's 1 gram lighter, so it would be ever so slightly better. But I'll take the extra gram for the phenomenal video quality of this. What became very evident Wednesday is that runtime is the problem. We were getting, when I was pushing hard freestyle, we were getting like 1 minute and 40 seconds. And that's just not enough. If I got a set of these 35mm quad blades and cut 2 of the propellers off to see how a biblade would perform, that situation would definitely get a little bit better. Thanks for the subscription, Lords. That would get a little bit better, but not enough. It's not going to take us from 1 minute and 40 to 2.5 minutes. And really, like, I want to try to get, I absolutely have to get over 2 minutes. I would love to get 210, 220, 230. So the solution is to cut weight. again, going to a bi-blade would help a little bit, just not nearly enough. This build needs to get lighter, period. No questions asked. So, yeah. And to do that, we're going to end up going back down to 702s, and we're going to do the 36,000 kV 702s. And I can all but guarantee you that this is going to be the motor that we settle on. Along the way, though, I want to take a stop at a higher kV 802 in a lighter weight frame. So the first thing that we're going to do tonight is pull this build out of this. We're going to weigh it, and then we're going to pull it out of this Meteor 65 Pro frame. This is the only frame option for these 35mm props. So this is as light as it's going to be. Oh, and I just remembered this. I just remembered that this has the Happy Model Cross AIO in it, which has the longer USB port. And that longer USB port prevents us from using the crown frame. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We can still use the crown frame. That's right, because the crown frame uses the same battery tray geometry and sizing and height as the Meteor 65. Yes! Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I was about to get really sad there. So, along the way, we're going to take a quick stop at... so the first thing we're going to do is move it from the Meteor 65 Pro frame on 0802 EX 30,000 kV motors. We're going to fly it first and weigh it. First stop is going to be to put it into the crown frame with EX 0802 33,000 kV motors on bi-blades rather than on 31mm Gemfan bi-blades as opposed to these 35mm Gemfan tri-blades. So it's going to get lighter, slightly lighter, because this frame weighs less than this frame. And we're going to get bi-blades instead of tri-blades. We are shrinking the propeller size down, which works against us, but I don't think it's that much of a difference. From 31 to 35mm, it shouldn't be a huge difference. And then we're going to go to a crown frame with the new Firefly 0702 36,000 kV motors. I've got an order, I've got a shopping cart at tinywhoop.com with 2 more sets of these motors because I'm really impressed by them. And I think that they are going to be the answer for these Walksnail builds and maybe just like freestyle builds in general, because we can motor limit them down. If I fly at a really big spot, I can motor limit them up. So, I mean, I think what it's basically going to be is the Moon Traveler rig with the 32,000 kV 702s. I think this is going to be like the main rig for flying around here. And then I will have an analog freestyle build on these 36,000s just for funsies. I will probably motor limit them down to 32,000 kV, though, just to fly around here. And then if for some reason somebody wants to see what it's like on 36,000 kV, I can just hop into the OSD, turn the motor limiting up, and away we go. But yeah, for this basement, which is pretty tight, and there's a lot of gates and shit all over the place, the 36,000s are just nutty. It's a lot. And then if I fly the analog rig out somewhere in a bigger spot, I can crank the power up too, right? But then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this Walksnail freestyle rig is going to end up on those motors, mainly because they are the lightest possible motors, and they have and that 36,000 kV on the bi-blades makes really good power. So yeah, almost certainly that's where we're going to land. And then down the road, there are going to be some prototype motors coming through that are slightly heavier, but should make even more power. We'll see how necessary that's going to be. I'm super curious what this is going to fly like on those 36,000s. I hope... I'm also kind of assuming that I'm going to... And this might not be true. I hope that this isn't true, but I'm I have a funny feeling I'm going to start cooking these 702 36,000 kV motors on this heavy of a video, on this heavy of a rig. So I want to get 2 more sets of these, so if I start melting these motors, I have extras to just swap on. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight. I am intrigued by this Walksnail Freestyle build. When I had this built previously, I didn't fly it all that much. We did not have these 2 sets of motors available to us, and every other motor that I threw at this just didn't have nearly enough power. So yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty sure that these EX802 33,000s are not going to give me enough runtime. I think the runtime is going to come from these 702s. To give you some idea of why that is, let's look at the weights. These are 2 identical frames, identical mounting hardware. EX, the lightweight 802 33,000s, are 11.67 grams. The 702s, 10.14. So that is a 1.5 gram difference. That is massive. That is a massive difference on a rig that weighs, in its current fat form, 27.37. So at the very least, so instead of, this is going to save 1.5 grams just from the motors. So 27, 26, 25.8. So that's 25.8 grams. And then probably save another 0.5 gram from the frame. We might be able to get this down to 24 grams. This might, by the end of the live stream, this thing might be at 24 grams. And with the amount of power that these 702 36,000s make, that might be good. Problem's gonna be, it's gonna beat this frame. It's this crown frame is really gonna get tortured by this amount of weight. Down the road, I'm going to end up putting this into a Cockroach 65 V3 frame just because it's so much more stout. The way that the ducts are designed, they're very, very strong. But I will need to change the AIO just to put it into this frame because the battery bay in this frame is a little bit tighter to the AIO. And where is it? I'll try it in one of these frames. I actually need to order more of these Cockroach frames. Kelvin sent me a few of the polycarbonate ones, which are going to be in giveaways soon. But these are 1 gram heavier than the more opaque plastic ones. So yeah, and we're really trying to find every gram and fraction of a gram that we possibly can on this build. So that's the plan, and that's kind of the why and the what and the who and the when and the where. In the chat, Hockey Rounds was first, Mr. Blue Sky was next, Northern Tier, Daniel 1964, Feigning Goat, Brandon Woodford, FPV-ish, Freelojo, Joe Flimt, Big J, Paul T, Mac FPV, Mick Mucus, Moj Alf, Moj A, The Lords of the MC, Freelojo again, Matty ORC, Brent Anderson, Hat Trick, Douglas Otwell, Brandon Woodford, Big J again, Mr. Blue Sky, Matty ORC, Freelojo, Shredder 0911, Butt Grinder. Butt Grinders here. I'm laughing because forever ago, Bruce from Australia said butt grinder. He He was like, "Who's that guy, butt grinder?" It was like, "Oh shit, Bruce, come on, man." I could never figure out if he did it on purpose or if it was by accident. I hope it was on accident. Hold on, I got batteries coming off the charger real quick. Do we need more than 6 batteries? We're gonna do pretty much 2, 2, 2, and 2. Let's do. I'll throw 2 more batteries on, just to make sure. When we're dealing with the Walksnail stuff, it's easy to kill one of these batteries just making changes, trying to get the motors to spin the right direction, stuff like that. Where are we at here? Douglas Otwell, Big J, Hat Trick, Matty O, Stephen K, Vixa, Paul Tsang, Stephen K again, Wotan, Shredder. What's up, everybody? Freelojo, Mac, Wotan, Joe F, 413 FPV, Fly Tribe Magazine, Matt Norton. Who else we have? Steve-O is here. Flush FPV. Sure wish that there was just a list of people that were in here, YouTube. You wouldn't think it would be so difficult to do that. They do have a list, but it doesn't work right. Fun per Volt. Mustang Pilot. I haven't seen you in a while, Mustang. How you been? One Arm RC, Cole Powers, Z Bear. I think I got everybody. I'm sure I didn't. If you want to talk directly to me, all I got to do is type CiottiFPV into the chat. If you do it, it'll highlight in orange like this, and I'll read your message. Thanks for letting me know that the audio was jacked up. OG folks, if the audio is messed up, feel free to jump onto Discord and do a audio call with me on Discord. That will make a noise that I can actually hear. And I'll look over at my Discord and hopefully realize what a jackass I've been. So yeah, there's that. Where are we going here? Brandon Woodford says, tagged me and said, "What's up, everyone? Good evening, CiottiFPV." Brandon Woodford also says audio. Freelojo says audio. Hat Trick says no sound. LOL first stream. Hockey Round says wake up sooner. Today's been a weird day. I was in full mania last night. Up absolutely all night. But I was getting work done, which is really nice. Usually, those two things are separate. So yeah, I got a ton of work done last night, which was great. But then I had to sleep all day to make up for it, unfortunately. But hey, here we are. I getting a bunch of work done like that, I'll take it, man. Like I will take motivation, and I had a bunch of good ideas, and I got this new 12 terabyte hard drive installed. So yeah, all is right with the world. Steve-O says, I'd love to see that pro using analog high KVs on tri-blades. So we talked about that on Wednesday as well. I realized that. So the Meteor 65 Pro frame, my main complaint historically about it has been it forces you to use the cross-style AIOs. And up until very recently, none of the cross-style AIOs had VTXs built in. So you would then have to wire up and VHB down an external VTX, and it just sucks. That whole process is just a pain in the ass. And it ends up adding extra weight and extra complexity and less durability and yada, yada, yada. The Hummingbird V3 from Newbie Drone is a cross-style AIO with a VTX built in. So that will be the home of this frame. Maybe even these motors too. I mean, although, shit, I'm going to have to switch the motor plugs. So yeah, on a future live stream, I will figure out what motors I want to run on this frame. It'll probably be these. These are the EX802 30,000 kV. 30,000 kV is more than enough on these 35 millimeter tri-blades. It might actually be too high. One of the tests I'm going to do is motor limiting these down to see if Basically, if you've got a motor that's too high of a kV, you can motor limit down a little bit to say like 85%, and it won't feel any different in the air. There's a point where if you've got the kV so high, basically the easiest way to tell if you've chosen a motor that is too high of a kV for the weight of the rig and the drag of the propeller, more blades, more drag, right? Is that as you're going up towards full throttle, there's a point where it stops making more power and it just consumes more amps. And so you can feel it at like 80% throttle, it'll make the same power as 100% throttle. And so an easy way of figuring that out is to fly it, land it real quick, motor limit down from 100% to 85%, and then fly it again. And if at 85% or 90% or 80%, it doesn't feel like it has any more power, then the motors are too high of a kV, which is kind of fine. Just leave the motor limiting on, and then down the road, if there is ever a less draggy propeller, you've got the extra kV there. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that an 802 30,000 kV motor is the right motor, not too high of a kV, for this GemFan tri-blade. Couple people have recommended, and I have done this in the past, to get the 35 millimeter quad blades and cut 2 of the blades off. I have been doing that for 7-8 years, and what I always find is that it's a good way of seeing if the bi-blade is a better choice than the tri-blade, but they're never balanced all that well. And so, like, it's not a real solution. And trying to convince GemFan to make a 35 millimeter bi-blade is going to be really tough because not many people use this frame. That's going to be like one of the least popular propellers. For them to make a mold, it's incredibly expensive. So I think that realistically we should just leave it on the tri-blades, because cut down quad blades are never going to be well balanced enough for me to get the tune to a point where I'm happy with it. And I just don't see a reality where a 35 millimeter bi-blade is going to get made. So we might as well focus on the best propeller that I think we'll have. But again, that's down the road. That's going to be in the Hummingbird setup. That'll be a way of... Newbie Drone sent me an extra Hummingbird AIO, V3 AIO. So might as well just drop it into this frame with these motors. I'm not using these motors for anything else. I've used these motors on 65 millimeter rigs a ton over the last like year and a half, and I just don't like them. They don't have quite enough kV for a 65 millimeter setup on bi-blades. When I put a 65 millimeter rig on tri-blades, I hate the way that it flies. These motors are heavier. They're too heavy for a 65. So yeah, but I think on this bigger frame with these bigger propellers and with the fact that they're tri-blades, I think that these are the right motors. So yeah, they will live on. Espander says, hey gangly gang, hi CiottiFPV. Hattrick says, stomach feeling okay today. It was feeling better until this morning. Wednesdays and Fridays are my mornings to get up at 7:30 and make Azalea some breakfast and get her on the bus and whatnot. And we didn't have any cereal or anything else in the house, so I made a tube of biscuits, and it made 8. And then I sat there like a giant fat idiot, and I ate 3 of the damn things with butter, and gave myself another stomachache just from eating way too much. I was so hungry, man. I'd been up all night. I was so hungry, and I just didn't stop eating. I'm a big dumb person. Matt Norton says, what's the best type of antennas to get for whoops with linear antennas? Getting SkyZone 040, I think. What's the best type of... my favorite tiny whoop antenna is the True RC ultra short Singularity. It fits perfectly under the little canopy here, the little Modulus 6 canopy. This camera also came out of focus, which is infinitely frustrating. All right. I like to just front focus it a little tiny bit so that when I hold stuff up like this, you can actually see it. What did that screw it fall out of? Oh, canopy. Yeah, TrueRC Singularity Ultra Short is my preferred antenna. Fits right under the Mobula 6 canopies. If you're not using the Mobula 6 canopy, it's nice and short. It's super easy. The performance is mind-blowing. The Singularity is the antenna that the long-range guys run. So if it works 8 miles out, it's going to work 80 feet away in your house. Hatrick said... YouTube did the thing. Trying to find my place. Hatrick says, if you're not obsessed with getting the top 10% performance, is there a way to get that extra flight time? Yeah, I mean, so I think I've already answered this, 743, 727. So yeah, we were probably talking about it right around the time that you asked that, Hatrick. Wait. Yeah, wait is the way to get flight time, like full stop. Technically, going from a 4-blade to a 3-blade or a 3-blade to a bi-blade will also get you some extra flight time, not nearly as much as shaving weight. Think of it this way. Shaving weight, the entire time it's up in the air, it has to carry less. And you got to think of saving weight from a percentage standpoint with these, right? So like we talked about, we're going to be saving we're going to save at least 2 grams today, right? So what did I weigh this at? I think I weighed this at 28 grams. So you can just do the math, right? At 28 grams, so I could probably do it in my head. 28 grams minus 2 grams is 2. How many times does 2 go into 28? That'll tell me. That'll help me. Hold on. 28 divided by 2 equals 14. So it's 1/14. So that's 10, 8, 7 or 8%. So there's going to be a, let's call it an 8% increase in, an 8% decrease in weight. And so we're going to get roughly an 8% increase in flight time. So 8%, call it 10%, 1 minute. 10% of 1 minute is 6 seconds. So 2 minutes, 12 seconds. So we will get at least 12 extra seconds of runtime. So at the least, we're going to go from 1 minute and 40 seconds to 1 minute and 52 seconds. I think we'll actually get up to 2 minutes, but we'll find out. There are, doing it with math like this is very, very, very rough. There's all kinds of other stuff going on. So yeah, I think we can get this thing over 2 minutes. We'll see. Z-Bear says, hey, Abba Jabba Gaming, what a great name, says, just put 36,000 kV on Mobula 6, runs away, PID tuning decrease. Yep. By putting the more powerful motors on, let me take a step back. The PID values, as you increase the PID values in Betaflight, what it's actually doing is decreasing the timing before the PID loop attacks any bad behaviors. So by putting a more powerful motor on, that more powerful motor is going to have a quicker response time, and it's going to more quickly be able to attack the flight performance problems. So by putting drastically more powerful motors on, you have effectively pushed your PID values way the hell up. So you need to, and now with runaways, you've got PID values that are too high, and the error correction is too quickly attacking bad behaviors, and then it's overshooting, and then it's overshooting again, and it's overshooting again, and that's what causes the runaway, right? The runaway, you can hear it and you can see it. It's just overcorrecting, and it's just overcorrecting over and over and over again, because the combination of the response time, which is calculated by basically the weight of the propellers the weight of the motor bell and the amount of power that the motors are able to make, versus, not versus, but in tandem with the PID values are just too high. It's too quickly attacking, and then it's overshooting, and then back and on and on and on and on. So yeah, there you go. Pull your PIDs down. Pull your easiest thing to do is to pull down the master multiplier. A better idea, in my opinion, though, is to grab your the very top two sliders and pull those down in whatever ratio that they're currently in. So if you've got like your D-gain slider up at 1.2 and your P&I slider at 1.0, you're going to pull the P&I down to 0.8 and the D down to 1.0. If you've got the D all the way up at 1.6 and 1.4, you're going to pull them down 0.2 at a time. Keep the ratio between those two sliders if you've done work to get that ratio set properly. If you've had all these values right up the middle and they're completely even, same deal. Move them in the same ratio to keep them alone. One of the things that I talk about in my Fiverr sessions with folks that want to help me, want me to help them learn how to tune is I'll talk about how the P to D ratio. And the easiest way to set the P to D ratio is to just, once you have the rig flying good, you just start pushing the D-gain slider up 0.2 at a time. And like 0.2 at a time, you'll feel the difference. And eventually there'll be a point where you can't push it any farther. It starts running away. And what I tend to find is having the D-gain slider about 0.2 ahead of the P&I slider is a really good balance. D-gain eats prop wash. P&I gain do not. And so personally, I try to push the D-gain as far as I can, and I tend to leave the P&I slider alone. But you can't keep pushing the D-gain slider. Like, you can't keep the P&I slider at 1.0 and get the D-gain all the way up to like 1.6. They have to be closer together than that. But yeah, that's a little bit of a higher level of tuning. But for anybody that's interested, there you go. D-gain is magic. P&I gain are not, but they are required to keep the D-gain in check, basically. Shredder says, risk it for the biscuit. Indeed. Matt Norton says, sorry, I meant antennas for goggles. Oh, okay. Same answer, actually. The singularity antenna is the way to go. Absolute best case scenario is a long singularity antenna to get it up above your head. Right? Our brain is filled with liquid, and RF absolutely refuses to go through liquid. So getting an omnidirectional all-around antenna up above your head is best case scenario. And then on the bottom one, you don't want one of these stubbies. You want well, it depends. If you're going to be flying 360 degrees around yourself and not very far, you could do that same setup. You could do a stubby and then an omnidirectional stubby and then an omnidirectional up above your head. If you're going to be flying directional at all in one direction more than another, and you're not going to be flying behind yourself a lot, you can do a patch antenna. That's what I do. Although even flying in the house, I leave the patch antenna on. So that like if I'm upstairs and and like I crash on the second floor and the signal is kind of staticky, I can just sit here and move my head around and point the patch antenna in different directions, and eventually I'll point it in the exact direction of whatever bounces are happening, and I'll get slightly better signal. So I'm a huge fan of patch antennas. You've got the Omni, right? Like the Omni is going to take care of 360 degrees. Having two Omnis doesn't really make a whole lot of sense unless you're absolutely not going to be pushing a bunch of range in one direction. So yeah, I very rarely do I pull the patch antenna off. The only reason why that other set of goggles doesn't have a patch antenna on it is that I never use those goggles. Those are the backup goggles, and I just needed a spot. I actually don't have another patch antenna that's small. The other patch antenna I have is massive. If I ever choose to do proper long-range stuff. I think it's in here. Look at this silly thing. Did I put it in here? I thought I put... Yeah. Yeah, so if I ever really, really want to push range, this is the patch antenna that goes on. It is, as you can see there, 13 dBi, which is very, very, very directional. That's going to have like a very tight beam, but that tight beam is going to be... it has a very high sensitivity. So you'll be able to push a ton of range in just one direction, basically, is what that antenna will allow me to do. Or, yeah, patch antenna will allow me to do. Cool. Makes sense? It's all about individual missions. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay. There we go. All right. Freeloader says, please show where the master multiplier is. I can't remember. It's the very last slider. The very last slider, all the way on the bottom. Stevo says, got my delivery from Speedy FPV. Nice. The Mobula 6 Crazy F4 AO. So they are legit. Unfortunately, it's out of stock, though. Installed it today to replace my burned out VTX Hummingbird V3 board. Works great. Stevo, either you bought the last one or a bunch of people that were watching that live stream jumped on there and bought them because they're sold out now, which is super sad. Shredder says, do you use PID Toolbox or Black Box Explorer graphs to tune after swaps? I do not. I do not use Black Box at all. Most of well, I shouldn't say most of these, but the really good tiny analog Tiny Whoop AIO does not have Black Box. And yeah, I dove into Black Box probably about 4 years ago, and I very quickly realized that I would begin that if I kept using Black Box, I would spend way too much time tuning and not enough time flying. So I said to hell with it, and I stopped using Black Box. Also, I realized that I could pretty easily get my tunes just tuning by ear and by feel to like 95% perfect. Where I sometimes do struggle is rigs that have problems. Black Box is brilliant for troubleshooting issues on rigs that are acting really weird. So every once in a while, I'll bug Brandon's Baked Beans for help with Black Box stuff. But yeah, tuning a rig that has a good set of motors, propellers, a working gyro, and a half-decent ESC or AIO is pretty easy. It's pretty easy to see and feel bounce back and to feel if the rig is like really loose. With the sliders, it's incredibly simple now. Even for new folks, there's little question marks to the right of all of the sliders, and if you hover over those, they explain exactly what the slider does, and like the Betaflight devs have done a wonderful job with those tooltips, and it really makes tuning very, very easy without using Black Box. If you're trying to get that last 5% of performance out, sure, Black Box is a miracle. But I prefer to have tunes that are backed off a little bit, so that if I start pounding on the rig and beat up the propellers, beat up the motors, beat up the frame, I don't have to retune all the time. So yeah, I run tunes that are a little bit looser than they could be if I were to use Black Box, but I do that on purpose. You know, like if I crash one of these things really hard on a rooftop and it bends a propeller, I don't want it to live the rest of its life on that rooftop because the tune is so on the edge that as soon as I arm it to try to take it back off of the rooftop, it goes apeshit and blows the ESC up, or, you know, just otherwise goes bananas. So yeah, I've really had good luck with tuning by feel and sound. So, but that's just me. I'm very jealous of folks that have put the time and effort into learning black box. Every once in a while, I say to myself like, "Oh, I'm going to learn this," and then I have to remind myself like, "No, no, 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 relax." Cool. Let's dive in, yo, and start trying different things on this Walksnail Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. First up is the same exact setup from Wednesday's live stream, which is Meteor 65 Pro frame, Gemfan 35mm tri-blades. This is the Happy Model Cross AIO. I do not recommend that you get this AIO. Get the Betaflight Cross AIO instead. And that's it. Walksnail light in a Mobula 6 canopy with the front of the canopy here just massaged a little bit with a great, nothing works. Why does this not... What? Why is this camera not working? What the hell? C922. No, that's right. C922. You gonna work now? Hey. Hello. That was weird. You have to go in with a file. I cleaned it up pretty good. But the lens on this camera is much bigger than the lens on the Runcam Nano. Runcam Nano Nano 3. So you need to take a file and just remove some material right around here. Otherwise, this lens like binds up on this canopy here. So just take a file or a Dremel and just take a little bit of material off. You can kind of see where I've done it, like it's kind of messy around here, but I mean, who cares? And yeah, that's it. It fits perfectly in this Mobula 6 canopy setup, other than having to remove a little bit of material. So yeah. And this Mobula 6 canopy is incredibly light and incredibly strong. I've yet to find one that is anywhere near as light and strong. So it's a really, really, really good choice. I'm tempted to try one of like the bikini style, or like the G-string style camera mounts, but I just don't trust those, man. I feel like those are going to break the camera, and the camera's kind of expensive, so I don't want to go down that road. Let's do some HD tiny whooping. What do you say? Hey, hey! What do you say? I don't know why I put these on my head before plugging this in. Alright, let me clean these lenses off because they get super greasy from sitting on my forehead. Still hoping that Newbie Drone will do a set of... man, everything is broken. They'll do a set of Bing Bongs. Elgato virtual camera? That's not it. US webcam? No, that ain't it. Where's the what? Where's the old Elgato? Good lord, man. Hold on. Maybe we're not. Why is this? What's your deal over here, buddy? Let's unplug this. This is the Elgato HD60S Plus. Just cycled the power on it. Usually it just works. I haven't had to mess with it in a while. Why is it not showing up in here? Oh man, come on, yo. What the hell? Hold on. That's Creative Cloud. I don't need that. Bueller? Okay. Why? Why? Um, hold on. Somebody asked me a question. Steve-O says, I actually tried Quicksilver today, but went back to Betaflight. Looks easier to use, but so used to Betaflight. Oh, God. So... What the hell, man? I don't, like, it's been so, it has just worked for a long time. So long that I don't even remember if there was firmware for it or what. But this hub at the moment seems to not be working at all. What the hell's going on here? Why you gotta be like that? Hold on. Let me power down the goggles real quick. Yeah, this hub is not working. Why is that? That goes to the monitor. This goes to here. And so I guess the hub doesn't like being on that. So what if I unplug the Elgato from there and plug it into this hub here? Will that work? Let's see. There's no lights or anything on the capture card to let me know if it's working or not. Let's see. Did that work? Hey, that worked. I think. Game capture HD60S. There we go. Interesting. This hub is being very weird. The hub is made by StarTech.com. And it's, well, at the moment, it's not working. Kind of weird. Okay, so let's try this again. Powering up the Walksnail goggles. Brad Mondin says, what's up? Going to get stitches out tomorrow, but still can't use my hand. Sorry, brother. God, that sucks. Scary. Limits20 says, I just made the same build on a 75mm frame, but I have two issues. First one is VTX overheating super fast. Yep, that happens. Second one is whenever I activate air mode, the drone flies away. Any tips, please? You gotta pull you gotta find where the vibrations are coming from. Air mode is basically just, it's sort of just the PID loop coming on. Not exactly, but yeah, I mean, it's like the full PID loop coming in. And so yeah, you got too many vibrations or too much electrical noise. So yeah, you can try to add filtering, or you can pull your PIDs down. Either or both. First thing I would do is pull the D-gain slider down. If you've got it up at like 1.4, 1.5, pull it down to like 1.2 or something like that. So here we go. This is the Meteor 65 setup. EX802 motors, 35mm tri-blades, Meteor 65 Pro frame, and then the... Jesus, get in there, battery. My God. and then the Happy Model Cross AIO. I do not recommend this AIO.
Low battery.
Low battery? What? Here it comes. All right, people. Let's do this. And that bag right there this is my 75mm build. You can kind of see the Walksnail setup in there. Let's go! It's fat! It's heavy! Whoa, hey! That was very awkward. Oh, come on. It feels like it's tied to the ground. Like it just wants to come down. Ah! No, 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 no. Stop it! Stop! Stop it! Oh my god, what's happening? Where am I? Oh, little bump there. Ah! I expect to be able to just blip the throttle and have it jump up in the air. This rig does not do that. This is a stand on the throttle kind of setup. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so used to the lighter weight rigs that when I go to blast the throttle to throw it up through these gates. Alright, and there we go. So that's the end of the battery. You can see it starting to brown out the VTX at full throttle. And so that, oh my god, a minute and a half? Oh, a minute and a half is nowhere near enough! Wow. Yeah. And so you can see the battery bouncing back to 3.7 per cell. Which is about right. You know, that we ran this battery down the right amount. If we push forward on the right thumbstick, we can go back into the OSD. And you can see, yeah, it's bounced back to 3.7 volts. Oh, God. 3.67. And now it's starting to go down again. So now we got to get it unplugged. But yeah, man, a minute and a half is just not enough. And we still don't have quite enough power. Like that is still yeah, like it's kind of almost enough, but if we can get a little bit more power at full throttle but less weight, that's really what I want. And the 702s are going to do that. So the first step is going to be to leave it on these same motors, but move it to a lighter weight frame. Same motor size, 802, but they're going to be a higher KV and on the bi-blades. So one of the other problems with this rig is the PID loop performance is not great. It's just a little bit loose and a little bit kind of floppy. And so we can help that by reducing the response time with a lighter weight motor bell and propeller. In this case, we're going to do it just with the propeller. The motor weight is going to stay exactly the same. I'm sorry, the motor weight is going to stay exactly the same. Jesus, man. Everything got all screwed around here. Hold up. Let me fix this. Wait a second. What the fuck? Why is this ball head acting like this? Stop it. I have you loosened. Why are you so stiff, yo? Get out of here. Okay. All right. There we go. Cool. So yeah, that's the first thing we're gonna do is move this to a lighter frame, higher kV version of the exact same motors, and let's see what that does. That could be all it needs. It might just need that subtle little bump in kV, and to be moved over to biblades. I doubt it. But you never know, and it's worth a quick try. And I believe that I can just that I'll be able to just drop this center section right into this other frame. I don't think I'll need to go any more crazy with this. This guy up here, I've made a hell of a mess. I need to get this little workspace cleaned up here. I almost forgot to unplug the motors. All right, cool. If you didn't hear me say it on Whoop Wednesday, if you're gonna try to like test different motors, one of the best ways to do that is to buy a few extra frames and then just mount all of your motors up to frames so that you've got a bunch of these sitting around, a bunch of frames with motors and propellers ready to go. And then all you'll need to do is exactly what you're seeing me do right now. Remove the 4 screws from the canopy and then pull the motor plugs, and you can very quickly swap one to the other. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than building identical rigs, and quite honestly, when you build identical rigs, they're only they might never be identical. Like the quality control is so bad on our products that yeah, 2 identical rigs are never going to really be truly identical. They'll be pretty damn close, and that is technically the best way to do it, because you can fly one rig and then immediately swap to the next. Whereas like doing this, there's going to be a 10-minute gap in between me flying the one and the other, and during that 10 minutes, I'm going to forget a little bit of how the other one flew, but usually it's okay. What the hell? Why is everything fighting me right now? This is supposed to be quick and easy, and instead it's being slow and painful. There we go. Okay, so pulling it out of the Meteor 65 Pro frame, maybe this frame will... Basically, so this Meteor 65 Pro frame with these heavy motors, and I mean, they're not that heavy, and tri-blade props, this needs a very, very, very lightweight AIO in order for this to really shine, and that's what the Hummingbird is. So this is going to live on life with some Hummingbird love to see if we can find a use for this Meteor 65 Pro frame that works really, really well. So yeah, we'll do that at a later date. It's basically going to be these two things being combined. So I'm going to stack these up on each other. Right over here. I'm looking forward to that. That might be cool. I don't think it will be because I hate tri-blades, but you never know. All right, so now we're going to put this into this Weebleed FPV crown frame with the new Imoptera, I think that's how you pronounce it, EX802 33,000s on GemFan buys. Drop that down in there, get that out of the way. Push this guy down. And now we need to put the front screw in first. Why did that not? See, there it goes. All right, we need to go front screw first. And now I'm probably going to have to change the motor direction in Betaflight as well, but we'll deal with that once this is put all the way together. Let's tighten this front screw just a little bit more. Okay. Now for the sides and rear. Let's do the rear first. Always make sure that it's actually threading into the post. You can very easily screw these in between the plastic post and the rubber grommet, and it'll kind of feel like it's threading. But when you go to pull up on it, it'll just pull right out. So whenever you do this, screw these in and then just put your fingernail under the canopy and just pull up on the canopy a little bit to make sure that it bit into the actual plastic post. All right, and this side. Okay, cool. And now let's check. The way that I check this to make sure that I've screwed these down enough is I will push down on the canopy, and there should be the tiniest little bit of squish against the rubber grommets, but it should not be a lot. You want this to be pretty tight. So yeah, you should be able to pull the canopy away from the head of the screw just a little bit, but again, not a lot. You want this to be pretty, you want this to be cranked down pretty tight. I actually want to put another little tiny turn on this front one. And then, yeah, this one's too loose as well. All right. Perfect. Okay. And let's make sure that the TrueRC Singularity is not binding up on anything, which it's not. It's free to move in there. Let's look at the MIPI cable and then the 30 gauge wires. Make sure they're not binding up on anything. They're not. They're nice and free. The boards look to be happy. Yeah, we're good. Everything's fine. Cool. Let's get these motors plugged in, and we'll get them spinning the right direction in Betaflight, and we'll see how this is. Shit. Can somebody rewind and tell me what the weight was? I can't believe that I forgot to weigh this before pulling it apart. I actually can absolutely believe that I forgot to weigh this before pulling it apart. Does anybody remember, or can somebody rewind back real quick and tell me what the weight of this was with the Meteor 65 in the Meteor 65 Pro frame? Please and thank you, my friends. While you rewind, somebody, whoever's going to do it, type in the chat, hey, I'm going to do it, so that there's not 15 people doing it. Whoever's going to do it, I'll wait for, I won't do anything while you're gone, I promise. Somebody might remember, though. What it was it 28? I think it was 28 grams, but it was point something, 28 point something. Come on. There we go. And last one. Come on. These fresh plugs like really snap in there. I'm used to plugs that are like ruined and old. These nice fresh motors have fresh plugs that really snap in there. Okay. Hetrick says 29 grams, I think. Yeah, I think it was somewhere close to that. Really good question by Brad Mondon. All else being equal, what are the difference in flight characteristics between bi and tri-blades? McMucus says 27.9 if memory serves. That sounds about right. Let's see what it weighs now, and we can get pretty close. 26.6. 27.9, 26.6. That sounds about right. 26.67 here. So 1.2 gram weight savings. And this is, wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of weight savings by just changing the frame, going to a lighter weight frame and a lighter weight propeller. That's really all we've done here. Lighter weight frame, lighter weight propeller. We're going to save another 1.5 grams going to these 702s. So this is going to come down to 25.1 grams. It's pretty damn good. Cool. Difference in flight characteristics between bi and tri-blades. On non-ducted rigs, the difference is more sideways slidiness and more slipperiness when it's up like this. When the airflow is coming in this direction and you're off throttle, On the tiny whoops, there's a big difference because there's one less propeller to block the air. So it's gonna off throttle. It's gonna move in either one of these directions. It's gonna like look at it. So like as you're looking at this, right, you can see the air path, right? So biblades versus tri-blades. Tri-blades, it's gonna do this. I'm changing the angle here a little bit, right? It's gonna do all of this easier on biblades because there's less obstruction. So you come off the throttle and you're in any orientation like this, and it's going to slip through the air nicer and it's going to sail better. With something that has ducts, when you turn it on its side like this, it doesn't matter. So if it's perfectly sliding like this, a biblade versus a tri-blade on something with ducts does not matter, because the propeller is not in the airflow, right? You can't even see the propeller, so neither can the wind, right? But as soon as you turn it up like that a little bit, now it does make a difference. So it's going to fly through the air off throttle. It's going to just slide better through the air. Without the ducts, when you are totally flat like this and you're sliding around, it does make a difference because there's one less propeller to grab onto the air. So on like a 5-inch rig, biblades feel very slidey like this. On a tiny whoop or anything ducted, the biblades just feel really good to me, in my opinion, when you're doing the off throttle shit, flinging it around the room. That's really it. That's really the difference. And that's also why Steve-O asks why I prefer biblades over tri-blades. That's why I prefer it. When I come off the throttle with the biblades, they carry their momentum beautifully around here. Tri-blades do not. Tri-blades, when I come off throttle, they slow down and stop, and I can't make it through the gate up on the ceiling, or I can't make the Matty flip or the power loop. But again, what's really interesting on the tiny whoops is I fly with a lot of stick coordination, so I fly very flat. And the tri-blades do not help at all for me with hitting gaps. Because when I'm hitting gaps, I'm pretty flat. And the actual guards themselves are doing all of the work in terms of getting this thing to... like when I change direction, getting it to stop. If this is the direction to travel and I turn... I want it to be like a scalpel. I want it to turn with me. And the vertical face of the ducts do all of that work on a tiny whoop. So the biblade versus tri-blade thing, the way that I fly, doesn't really help me shoot gaps. It does help me as soon as I turn this thing up and throw it across the room. So yeah, the biblades to me more closely mimic the 5-inch flight experience, which is what I try to do with all my rigs. Every single freestyle rig, I do whatever it takes to make it fly as similar as possible to the best flying rigs that we've ever created in FPV, which are 5-inch freestyle rigs. So yeah, it's super interesting. If you do not fly very flat, if you fly more like a racer and you use a lot of roll and not a lot of yaw, and you don't coordinate your sticks very much, then the tri-blades will give you more grip because you're not flying flat like this. You're not taking as much advantage of the vertical face of the ducts. You're putting it up. You're going into a corner and you're putting it up like this. And as soon as you put it up like this, the airflow through the biblades is not going to grip, and a tri-blade is going to grip better and go forward. It's just my flight style, which is very cinematic and very flat. I try to keep the horizon as level as possible. That negates some of the advantage in terms of grip that you typically get from the tri-blades. Does that make sense? I know we're going pretty deep down the flight dynamics rabbit hole there, but usually you guys are able to kind of keep up with me. Like I said, though, if you fly more like a racer and you don't specifically try to keep the horizon level all the time, the difference is going to be much less drastic for you. Let's see if the propellers spin in the right direction. You know, I'm just going to put a battery on it and arm it, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if it flips over. And that'll tell us if the props are spinning the wrong direction. Come on, battery. Or battery, no. Come on, transmitter. Come on. Arm. Arm, little fella. Arm! What? There it goes. Okay. Nope, it's angry. And the motor on the motor number 4 is dead. Or ESC number 4 is dead.
Telemetry lost.
Jesus Christ. This Happy Model Cross AIO is a piece of garbage. I've had nothing but problems with it. Alright, let's plug into Betaflight. That might be the end of our testing for tonight if the ESC let go, which would not surprise me. But let's at least put it in the Betaflight and see if we can get these motors spinning in the right direction. I mean, look, before the good AIO from Happy Model was a complete joke. And for the most part, the situation was just stay the hell away from their products. We got one amazing AIO from them, and now all of a sudden we feel like, oh yeah, Happy Model makes good shit. They don't. They don't. They make garbage, but they stumbled into something really good. Why won't it connect to Betaflight?
Telemetry lost.
What the hell?
Telemetry recovered.
Shut up!
Low battery.
Hold on.
Telemetry lost.
Why is this not working? Okay, we're plugged in here. Should be fine. But let's try plugging it in over here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Get out of there. Get over here. Here we go. Alright, this should fix the problem. I've got 2 USB hubs down there, and the one of them acts up an awful lot, unfortunately. I think that's what just got us. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. So,
Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
we're going to come in here and go to motors and motor direction. I understand the risks. Wizard. Start and spin motors. Hey, left front motor is back to life. Motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is incorrect. Click it to reverse it. Motor 3 is correct. Motor 4 is also correct. That's weird. Oh, god damn it. And this is this fucking AIO. This AIO, for whatever reason, will not allow me to reverse that motor. So I have to do it in the ESC configurator. Absolutely, whatever you do, do not buy the Happy Model Cross AIO.
Receiver is still connected.
It is just useless. And has caused me nothing but problems. Alright, so I need to disconnect. Let's reconnect. Restart escconfigurator.com. Beta FPV Cross AIO is the one to get. So we're going to take motor 2 and go back to normal, right settings, and there we go. Just turn PWM dithering off while we're at it. Frank Nicholas says, Betaflight not allowing motor direction change is a bug in certain versions of Betaflight, probably not the AIO. I would agree with you, but I have so many of these AIOs on this same version, and it works fine in all of them. So, could be a bug. I don't think it is, though. This is 4.4.3, and I have that on a whole bunch of rigs, and it's fine. So, it was a bug in, I believe it was 4.3 3.1. Motor 1, correct. Motor 2 is now correct. Motor 3 is correct. Motor 4 is correct. So we're good to go. All right, let's disconnect and pull the battery and see how it does. Cool. We've saved almost 1.5 grams, but we've gone down to a smaller propeller. It is a bi-blade, though. So let's see what the runtime ends up being. I forgot to turn the goggles on. They are now turned on, though. Frank Nicholas says that was mentioned in JB or your previous stream. Yeah, we talked about it on Wednesday. Adam CFPV finally made it. Good to have you, brother. Alex Wan 9 says thoughts on the Iflight 5 amp AIO. I didn't even know that they made a 5 amp AIO. Anybody know anything about the Iflight 5 amp? Off Access dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. Hey, this is my full-time job. If you would like to see these live streams continue, I am completely crowdfunded. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com and you can click a bunch of buttons that'll help me. I've got a Patreon that helps me the most. Come on, can you bind, please? Bind! Please bind. There, it's bound. Come on. There we go. All right, let me just give it a second to let the VTX cool down. This battery is already at 3.8, so this is just going to be a little test here, and then we're going to move to the other battery. I feel like I can already feel that it's a little bit lighter. PID tune is feeling good. Oh, God! Oh, now the left front motor is acting up again. Come on, you piece of garbage. There it goes. Oh, this is way better. Woo! Yeah. Oh, this is way better. Wow, okay. I will admit, these are much... Woo! Yeah! These are a much fresher motor. The 802EX 30,000s have beaten to death. Oh boy. Yo, this is a big difference. So, Meteor 65 Pro... Yeah, I mean... Until we get a well-balanced bi-blade... that was ugly. That was me flying bad. I just did a bad job. Oh, come on. Yeah, the Meteor 65 Pro frame... It's not the one. Oh! That's annoying. Yeah, you just... Without bi-blades, we're not going to be able to tell. But even with bi-blades, I don't think it's the right... I don't think it's the right setup. No matter what, the bigger propellers are going to be harder to turn, and that's just not what we want. These 1.2-inch 31mm propellers are magic. Oh, this battery's about to go. Minute and 59 on a battery that was at like 3.8 volts when we first took off. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about America, my friends. There you go. There's how to get the runtime back. Save weight. Shave weight. I really don't think... Even if we were to get a bi-blade, a 35mm bi-blade, I don't think that that's the way to go. I think that these little propellers are really optimized for lightweight. And and running smaller, lighter frames, smaller, lighter motors. What's really incredible is the Meteor 65 Pro frame is not really any heavier than the regular old school Meteor 65 frame, but this crown frame and the Cockroach 65 V3 frame are lighter. Let's rip. Oh, dude, what? Yeah! Okay. Oh, nope. It's still heavy. It's still heavy for sure. But, oh, you fuck. Come on. See it? That little snap when I'm taking off is motor 4, or the motor 4 ESC deciding that it wants to live. So, I can't do all of the things that I normally do, but I can do a hell of a lot more than I was with that other setup. KV is just magic, man. Oh, come on. Please work, you piece of shit. KV is magic. Oh, yo! That's a move that I don't usually hit on the analog rigs. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, I didn't need to disarm there. That was stupid. Come on, thank you. Oh. I don't know if this is going to feel any better. Oh, come on. I don't know if this is going to feel any better on the 702 36,000s. It might want these bigger motors for the extra weight that it's carrying. These might be the motors. Ah! I was just way too slow on that. On the sticks there. Oh, come on, man. You piece of garbage, AIO! Oh my god, I just slammed it right into the TV. Yeah, that... Yeah, ESC channel 4 is... Come on, Happy Model, you jerks. Oh, man. I think it might be all the way dead. Oh, man. You know... No, that ESC is done. Yeah, it's just twitching. It's just twitching that motor. Well, that was short-lived. And yeah, it's not the motor wire. It's the AIO. God damn it, dude. Why can't we have more than one product that works? Like, what the hell? Oh, there it goes. It just sort of came back to life. Come on, just hold on long enough for me to do this testing, you piece of garbage. Oh. That's what happens when you run the battery down a little bit too low with Walksnail. It browns out the VTX, you lose video, and that's that. All right, I've got a bunch more batteries. Let's stop there for these motors, and let's move it over to the 702 36. I really did not get I did not get enough of a feel for it there, and I did not get a clean runtime. Hockey Round says 223 runtime. That runtime does not count. A whole probably like 20 seconds of that was it not spinning up motor 4 when I was armed. So yeah, the runtime just now is not. We need it. We need the whole battery. We need the AI. Yeah. God damn it. Is this AIO gonna hold on? Trying to think the best way to limp this thing through the rest of this testing. I need to do another battery. I need to get a little bit more acclimated to this, and I really want to get a full runtime without it sitting on the floor spinning 3 motors at idle and instead of just the one. I guess I'll just try to not crash. Let me, once it arms, I will, try my best to not crash. But I also I need to fly it hard, because I don't want a limping it around runtime. I want a proper runtime. Let's see. Let's see if I can fly it hard without crashing. Not gonna happen. Let's see. See what I can do. Come on, come on, come on, come on! ELRS, why do you take so long to arm sometimes? Or, not arm, bind. Connect, whatever. Come on! Alright. Oh, fuck. No, no! Oh, fuck you. Yes! Let me do a lot of those. Let me do a lot of these little... Man, this takes incredible concentration to fly this thing hard but not crash. Oh, god damn it! Oh, that motor's not working again. Fuck you! Yes! There we go. This flies really decent. Really, really decent. No! 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 Fuck. Yes. No! Yes, no! Yes! No! What was I thinking? No! I flew backwards inside of the thing. Battery's almost done. Come on. Make it. No! Oh, wow, I didn't... I thought I was trying to push it back through that gate, but I did not get it there. We're at a minute... Oh, Jesus Christ on a crutch. We're only at a minute and 50. Now the motor's gonna fuck up. Come on. No! Jesus. There's the VTX browning out. Oh my god, are you kidding me? 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Like I said, over 2 minutes, I'm happy. Okay, I think I have a good enough feel for this. Let's, I don't have much time left before Bot Grinder starts, but let's get this in. 661FPV says, just got here, what's the motors and build specs on this Walksnail build? Same exact as Whoop Wednesday, but we've moved it over to a crown frame and the 802 33,000s, which we are now promptly going to remove and put it into a crown frame with the 702 36 thousandths to see if we can get better than 2 minutes and 10 seconds and or better power to weight ratio. Hold on! I'm going to weigh it. I'm remembering to weigh it. AJ Ferris says, how do I join the Discord? Head over to CiottiFPV.com and click the Patreon button. How do you join the Discord? Go to CiottiFPV.com, scroll to the bottom, and there's a Discord link. If you join the Patreon, you're going to get an email with how to join the Discord and get it all straightened out. 26.65 grams. 26.65. Somebody type that into the chat and tag me. 26.65 crown frame EX0802 33,000 kV motor Gemfan biblade Walksnail Freestyle Tiny Whoop. That flew really, really good. I am incredibly impressed with these motors right now. These motors might be the ones. When we add this extra weight, we are going to be putting more temperature into the motors, and the 702s might be too small of a heat sink for a rig that's this heavy. So yeah, these EX802s might be the jam. In the future, the prototype motors that should be coming at some point. It won't be for a while, but yeah, they might be a better middle ground, but we'll see. We'll see. That is a longer term project. Okay, here we go. Okay. Brad Mondin says, what's the difference between the X12 of the Mobula 7 and the F4 of the Mobula 6? They're both F4s. The difference is the X12 is oversized, and there's only like 1 or 2 frames that it'll fit in. The X12 has a little bit more VTX power, but it's a tiny whoop, so that doesn't really matter. The X12 will also take 2S, and it has 12 amp ESCs, which are not necessary. There are no power systems that you're going to run that are going to need more than 5 amp FETs. So basically, the only real reason to get the X12 doesn't seem to be as durable as the regular 5 amp F4 ELRS AIO. The only reason to get and run the X12, in my opinion, is if you just are going to build a Jungle Gym basher, and you just buy a Mobula 7 ELRS 1S, it's going to come with the X12. There's like no reason to swap the X12 out. Just wait till it blows up, and then swap it out. It's a little bit heavier, but the Ultimate Jungle Gym basher build uses one of the only frames that the X12 will fit in, which is the frame that the Mobula 7 1S ELRS comes with. It's the Mobula 7 V4 frame. It's a great frame. So yeah, that's really, in my opinion, the only reason to get an X12. Unless, I guess, you want to fly a tiny whoop really far away, then the extra VTX power is going to be nice. All right, hang on one second. And okay, here we go. Let's drop this on in and see how 702 36,000 kV motors handle all this extra weight. I am optimistic. But yeah, I don't know. This might be too much weight for this small of a heat sink. You can think of the size of the motor as a heat sink, and so as we go all the way down to 702, but we're still picking up the extra 6 grams. Yeah. These motors might get hot. And when motors get hot, and the magnets in particular get hot, they lose magnetism in that moment, and so they become both less powerful and less efficient. And it's a bad recipe. Like, it's really important to run a motor that's big enough to stay cool enough to maintain its power and efficiency. And yeah, these 702s are an awful small, lightweight motor. So, but I mean, I have not seen that before. I've had slightly heavier builds with 702s, and they've been completely fine. I haven't flown them hard freestyle though. That's going to be the X factor here, is that we want to fly this thing full throttle all over the damn place when we're trying to throw it up through inverted gates and whatnot. What was that weight from a minute ago? Let's check all the cables, make sure they're still happy. Everything looks good there. This looks fine. Chances are the motors won't spin in the correct direction, but maybe they will. 26.65. Thank you, 661. Somebody said fly upstairs. That's a good idea. If I can get it to where I'm happy with the way that it flies down here, though, I'll love it upstairs. It's so much harder to get rigs to fly accurately and cleanly and precisely down here in the basement. The upstairs is easy. It's a big open space. You just need to throw a bunch of power at a rig and it'll fly good upstairs. But flying down here is all about having a good balance of power to weight. This thing now weighs... Hold on, I need to tighten this front screw just a little bit. There we go. That should be better. This now weighs 25.08 grams. Look at that. 25 grams right on the nose. Pretty damn good. That's what most of our older Tiny Whoops weighed. This is going to have the benefit of a lot more power than all of those older Tiny Whoops. So let's see. We've saved another 1.5 grams. So each step of the way here, we've saved 1.5 grams. That's huge. That's a really, really, really big deal. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing this all out of order. Hold on. If I let this damn thing sit while the goggles are powering up, it's going to chew a bunch of the power out of the battery. Nah, hold on. Walter says, "Is it a printed frame?" God, no. Printed frames don't work. Don't ever run 3D printed frames. They cannot isolate the AIO from the vibrations anywhere near as good as they need to. It's a Weebleed crown frame. Brad Munden says, "Fly upstairs." Frank Nicholas says, per Kevin Sumner, found the motor direction bug report. Started in 4.4.2. Will be fixed in 4.5.0. Really? I'll be damned. I thought it was 4.3. Okay. That's super annoying. See? Don't upgrade your shit, yo. Alright, there we go. Walksnail goggles are up. Quad's powered on. Oh, shit. The motors are not going to spin the right direction. Let's try, though.
Low battery.
Nope. Damn it. I think this AIO came with 4.4.3 installed. Most of my stuff is still on 4.3. Because from 4.3 to 4.4, there was very little to no increase in flight performance. In like things that actually make flight performance better. Motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is correct. Motor 3 is incorrect. Motor 4 is incorrect. Let's see if maybe it'll work magically. Nope. Nope. So motors 3 and 4 I need to reverse. Turn the transmitter off. Power down. All right, here we go. Man, I've become spoiled by that motor direction thing. Motor 3, reversed. Motor 4, reversed. Right settings. Disconnect. Now we're good. Get this battery unplugged right away. And I'm just going to assume that they're spinning in the right direction. Here we go. And there we are. Get this transmitter fired back up.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Realistically, that barely takes any extra time. What we just did there, that was what? An extra 3 seconds? 661 says the main difference between 4.3 to 4.4 is HD OSD, right? Yeah, you know what?
Low battery.
Wait, no, didn't we have it in 4.3, I thought? Here we go. Battery's all the way down at 4.0. Oh, God! That was a incredibly clumsy crash. Fuck you. Fuck you! Get out from under the couch, you piece of... Damn it. Jesus. Can you not... bounce, like... absolutely, completely, utterly, unbelievably wrong to nudge a millimeter under the couch? There's something weird going on with this, for the record. There's like some strange juddering that's happening. I don't know what exactly. It might be overactive PIDs. It also seems to be killing the battery. Let's get to the end of this battery and then we'll swap to another one. Oh boy. Yikes. That is the VTX browning out. If it comes back, I can probably limp it home. It did it on a full throttle blast. So these motors at 36,000 kV... I went into turtle mode. It was just the camera image upside down. We might have found a problem here. These motors might be so high of a kV, minute and 4 second runtime, that when we blip full throttle, we could run into an issue of it sagging the battery down so low that the ESC browns out. When the battery is not, like, fully discharged. Here's a fresh battery, though. Let's try this before we jump to conclusions. Here's a proper fresh battery.
Low battery.
Come on. Here we go. All right, full battery, 4.23. Whoa, okay. PIDs are too high. So that little runaway is case in point that the PIDs are too high. Unfortunately, I can't get the OSD to come up.
7.
Sometimes I don't understand. It just won't show me the OSD. Man, this is a fucking nightmare. I don't understand why the OSD won't come up, but I don't really have much of a choice. I need to pull the PIDs down on a fully charged battery. It's just kind of running away. The 36,000 kV motors that are really, really, really lightweight are going to give you absurd response time,
Telemetry
and
covered.
it just needs to get tamed.
Low battery.
It's just a bit much here. What are the filter settings on this thing? I have a lot of filter. I've added a lot of filtering. Let me take a little bit of that filtering away, actually. It might not need all the filtering that it has. I'm going to leave that dynamic notch filter on too. So let's pull this down to 1.4, and then we're going to pull this down to 1.2, and that should take care of it. Disconnect. All right.
Telemetry lost.
Let's try that. So the runtime is now out the window because I pulled the battery, but let's just see if we can get the damn thing to not fly away, and then we'll do a battery to figure out runtime. It is 9:03. I am on Bot Grinder hours. Go get you some flying videos and crazy conversations and just time spent with an awesome fella, my buddy DJ, the one and only grinder of bots. Fuck you! Jesus Christ on a crutch. Oh my god. What the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ. What? What? Now the frame is fucked up. Awesome. Ah, I tried to drop it down into the gate all slick-like. This flies awesome. For a second there, I kind of forgot that I was flying the Walksnail rig rather than the Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. 702s are magic. This is, well, depending on the runtime... Jesus Christ. Well, now we've got propellers hitting the frame. Wow. Oh my god. Oh man, most of this is a me problem. For the record, I'm just useless right now. Oh my god. All right, I have to bring it back. The frame has bent all up, and the propellers are just like slamming into it. Hold on. Wait, no. Have I ruined these motors already? I mean, crashes are gonna hit way, way, way harder. Oh my god, look at that. No? Wait, hold on. No, it should be okay. Maybe it's just the props. As the weight goes up on these builds, durability is going to become a lot more difficult. Completely forget the runtime on this battery. This is not a good indication at all. Why is it 2 minutes and 30 seconds, though? That can't be right. That can't be right. All right, hold on. There's no way that's right. Let's get another battery on it that we won't unplug halfway. And we also won't flop around on the ground like idiots quite as much as I just was. That runtime can't possibly be right. There's no way. That's way, way, way too much runtime. Denzel the Terrible says, you need one of the kids on payroll to fetch your whoop. Yeah, right. Can't even get them to spend 2 minutes emptying the dishwasher once a day. All right, here we go. This battery is at 4.17. Close enough. Oh my god. Ah! Stop it! Oh, I tried to back it through this gate. Ah, I tried to again and I missed it. Ah! God, I can't fly. The way that these motors feel and fly and the way that they make power, and even like the way that they sound, it makes me think, wow, there is something weird going on. I'll bet you it's this AIO. This AIO seems pretty worthless. So I'm gonna blame a lot of these flight problems on the AIO. Yeah, these motors make me feel like I'm flying the regular analog rigs. Oh, I almost got it. And that's bad. That's a bad thing. Like this is a drastically different rig, and I need to fly it that way. Ah! Shit, you fuck. Come on. Yeah! Whoa! Okay. Oh, there goes that front left motor again. Oh, happy model, you sons of bitches. Please! Oh my god. Come on, man, you fuck! No, left front motors. Left front ESC channel is dead. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I wish that I could do a better job for you, but companies make components that are useless and just don't work at all, and that sucks. Oh well, now it's motor 1. That's cool. Wait, no, motor 1 is just hitting on the frame now. Hey, there we go. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That was not motor 1. That was motor 4. I had the quad backwards. Nope, there it goes again. Yeah, no. Happy Model makes one good AIO, and it's not this one. Oh, there it is. Jesus Christ on a fucking crutch. Oh my god. I was so excited for this live stream. Like I still am. Like I'm sorry I'm getting so angry. It's just I'm so tired of shitty like I can't do my job because these idiots can't make a goddamn AIO that works. Like, how does Betaflight make it? I don't know. Never mind. We're lucky that anything in FPV works. That's the long and short of it. The fact that we can get 5 minutes of flight time out of these rigs is a miracle. And that needs to be our focus, not bitching and moaning that the components that we pay $60 for don't work after 4 batteries. All right, last one, friends. Let's see if this will work through the whole battery. Still some weirdness. I think there's still some PID weirdness. There's like a certain amount of throttle. You can kind of see it. Hold on, ready? Ah, fuck you. So far, I'm most impressed by the... Yeah, you can see it there. I'm most impressed by the 802s. Look at that throw, though. I mean, we can still throw this thing around the... There it was again. We can still throw... Here, let's do the throw test. Ready? Down low. Still throws good. I mean, there is nowhere near as much hang time. But it's not bad. Ah! See it? See it getting all, like, weird? Something going on. If these are the motors that we keep on here, we'll die. Well, what we'll do is take this AIO off and throw it in the fucking garbage can where it belongs. And then we'll replace it with a Betaflight cross AIO. And then I bet you all these problems will go away, and it'll be completely fine. Ah! So close. Oh, come on now. Fuck you. Oh, you piece of shit bastard. We're at 1 minute and 36. Oh. My God, man. There we go. Ah! I'm gonna have to go get it again, aren't I? Ah! Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God! That's it. VTX is gonna overheat. Not overheat. Brown out. Let's hold on now. Looks like it's got a little bit more. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Fuck you. The PIDs getting all upset are not helping with the runtime thing. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Let's see where the battery bounces back up to. Bottom left corner, 3.59. Looks like it's going to hang there at 3.59. It does have Walksnail pulling on it right now, though, which pulls pretty hard. So, like, if I unplug this battery, right? Has it been frozen there the whole time? Did it not come back to life? That's weird. I don't know why it froze there. That was odd. I flew it a little bit more. So I've pulled this battery off. And now that it doesn't have Walksnail pulling on it, watch this. It's already up to 3.69. And that'll probably keep going up. It'll probably go up to like 3.7, 3.71, 2, 3, 4 maybe. That tends to happen. You can feel it like the battery is warm. So... interesting. Very interesting. Man, these ducts are starting to come out around already. All this extra weight is going to really stress the shit out of these frames. So if you hate your life and you do this build with the Happy Model Cross AIO, I would either do this exact build here or the 802 33,000s. I don't think you can go wrong with either motor. The preferred setup, though, is going to be, I think, we got to test it, but the preferred setup is going to be to use a Betaflight cross AIO and then put it into the Cockroach 65 V3 frame, just because the ducts are so much stronger. Because the ducts have a little bit of a profile to them, it really increases the strength. I cannot believe how good this flies. I'm really, really, really blown away. Quadbod, thank you for doing that. He rewound the stream, and I measured the Pro frame build at 27.37. So we went from 27.37 grams on the Meteor 65 Pro build, all the way down to, I think this is the preferred setup. I think these 702 36,000s are the way to go. We went from 27.37 all the way down to 25.0. That is damn good. 25 grams for a 1080p 60 frame per second tiny whoop is mental. Absolutely mental. Wow. Yeah, that's super impressive. And I can do most of the things that I'm doing with the analog rigs. This is never going to be as durable. But good Lord, what a thing. What a thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is in the cockroach frame. I think the cockroach frame is a little bit stronger in terms of isolating the motor vibrations from the AIO. I'm also really looking forward to smashing this Happy Model Cross AIO with the biggest hammer that I can find. Because I think a lot of the issues are caused by it. I'm willing to bet that once I get this into the onto a Beta FPV Cross AIO, it has extra runtime. Has anybody I can't find the Beta FPV Cross AIO in stock anywhere. Has anybody seen it in stock recently somewhere? Brad Monden says, get Rosser to build a flight controller, LOL. Stephen Woodruff says you should post a short of snapping the AIO before throwing it away. I might. Making sure I didn't miss any comments. All right, I think we're good to go. Thanks for hanging, friends. Sorry I got so frustrated. It just drives me insane when components just stop working for no reason. Like at least stop working after I've crashed you 10,000 times. If you start acting up after I've flown 4 batteries on you, I'm just gonna lose my mind every single time. This is pretty wild. Lots more flying this coming in the future. Probably another one of these builds very similar. This guy is getting torn apart ASAP. And I was planning on putting this into another carbon fiber 65mm frame, but I think that idea is out the window. I think I'm going to take this setup and do another one of these freestyle rigs with it, because this is nuts, being able to do this in 1080. Stephen Woodruff says Beta FPV has the Cross AIO on their website. Yeah, they take forever to ship, though, unfortunately. They don't take forever to ship. The shipping takes forever to get here. So yeah, I'm looking to buy it from stateside. Click buttons down here if you'd like. Subscribe, bell, thumbs up, all that shit. Leave a comment if you're watching this on repeat. Tell me what you thought. And I'll catch up with you guys on Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Be good, friends. Have an awesome weekend. Have an amazing Saturday. Here comes some more flying from 2020. This was in Buckhead. I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm going to pick a file that's big enough. Oh, it's the same building. Why? What? 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 How is this? I have the same files in both. How did I do that? 2239. 2239. That's very weird. 2239. I have an orange shirt on. And then 2213. I have an orange shirt on as well. What? What's happening here? March 30th, April 17th. There we go. Well, that makes it easy. Metadata for the win. April 17th, April... Wow, it's weird. I just happen to be wearing the same shirt on both of these days. I can delete a whole chunk of files. That's great. I love being able to delete 10 gigs of nonsense. Here we go! I love you guys. Be good. I'm not ready. Yeah, this might work. Love you guys. Be good. See you Sunday. Oh, this is cool. You'll dig this. This is fun. Later, friends. CiottiFPV.com to support me. Do it. Click all the buttons. I need your help.